least 15 killed after Israeli strikes hit school building. President Nicolas takes top job in Vietnam administration. Good afternoon, Salam Malaysia Madani. I'm Jessica Lee. Welcome to World Today. In the Gaza Strip, at least 15 people were killed on Saturday in the Israeli strike on a school. According to state Hamas-run government media office, the school was being used as a shelter for displaced persons in Gaza City's Sheikh Radwan neighborhood. On the other hand, the Israeli military said the school was being used as a command center for Hamas to hide their troops and manufacture weapons. Hamas has denied Israeli accusations that it operates from civilian facilities such as schools and hospitals. Now, earlier on Saturday, Israeli strikes in the enclave killed 6 people in a house in the southern area of Rafah and 2 others in Gaza City, Gaza health officials said. The Israeli military said its forces had struck militants and destroyed Hamas infrastructure in Rafah and elsewhere in the enclave. At least 39,550 Palestinians have been killed in the Israeli military campaign in Gaza, according to Gaza health officials. The violence in the West Bank was on the rise before the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza and has risen since, with frequent Israeli raids in the territory, which is among those that the Palestinians seek for a state. Vietnamese President Nicolas was named on Saturday to the nation's top position, General Secretary of the ruling Communist Party of Vietnam, replacing Nguyen Trong, who died 2 weeks ago. Addressing the delegates, he vowed to inherit and promote Trong's legacy and make no changes to the Southeast Asian nation's foreign policy, focus on achieving its socio-economic development goals, and continue a campaign against graft. Lam, aged 67, had temporarily taken on the party's chief's duties on the 18th of July, a day before Trong's death, as his health deteriorated. He was a career security officer, had been seen as long aiming to become party chief, with experts calling the presidency a stepping stone for the top job. The nation does not formally have a paramount leader, but the head of the party has a more prominent role than others after Trong beefed up its power during his 13-year tenure. Now, Vietnam, a major destination for manufacturing investments, has long been favored by multinational corporations for its political stability. However, the country's economy experienced major turbulence in recent months that officials said was fueled by the anti-graft effort. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said on Saturday that some 2,000 people had been detained in connection to crimes during protests over the controversial results of the presidential elections. Now, during a rally in Caracas, Maduro pledged maximum punishment and accused the detainees of committing serious offenses.
Tenemos 2,000 presos capturados y de ahí van para Tocorón y para Tocuyito. Máximo castigo. Justicia. Esta vez no va a haber perdón. Esta vez no va a haber perdón. Esta vez lo que va a haber es Tocorón.
Venezuela's electoral authority, blasted by critics as favoring the ruling socialists, proclaimed Maduro the winner in last Sunday's vote. The published election results sparked widespread allegations of fraud and protests. Subsequently, security forces cracked down on protests, which Maduro's government labeled as part of an attempted United States-backed coup. The presidents of Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia called for Venezuela to release detailed voting tallies amid the dispute over presidential election results. In a related development, diplomats and staff of the Argentine embassy in Venezuela, who were expelled by Nicolas Maduro's government this week, arrived in Buenos Aires on Saturday. The Venezuelan government expelled Argentina's diplomats after Buenos Aires criticized Maduro's proclaimed re-election last week. The staff arrived in Buenos Aires on an Aerolíneas Argentinas flight from Madrid after leaving Caracas on Thursday. The residence and the embassy had to be abandoned in 72 hours. A team consisted of 5 diplomats, each with their families, as well as 14 other people. Brazil will take over administration of the Argentine embassy in Caracas, putting in its hands the fate of 6 Venezuelan opposition figures who are living at the Argentine ambassador's residence after warrants were issued for their arrests in March. Argentina has granted them asylum, but the Venezuelan government has not allowed them to safely leave the country. In March, aides to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado requested asylum at the embassy after a local prosecutor issued arrest warrants against them for conspiracy. United States Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has agreed to an offer from Fox News to hold a debate with Democratic U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris on the 4th of September. Now, Trump, in a posting on X, said the rules of the debate will be similar to that with Joe Biden, but with a full arena of audience. The post was removed for a few minutes before being reposted, with Trump deleting his proposal for a major town hall gathering on the same date if Harris was unwilling or unable to debate. Now, Harris has responded last month that she was ready after Fox News proposed the presidential debate between the two candidates on September 17th. After Biden dropped out of the race on the 21st of July and backed Harris, Trump said he would not debate her because she was not the official candidate. As proof of her lack of support, he added that former President Barack Obama had yet to endorse her. However, Obama did so a day later, and on Friday, she secured the delegates' votes needed to clinch the Democratic nomination. Coming up next, Florida braces for potential tropical storm at the weekend. Florida faces a significant weather system that could become a tropical storm this weekend, dumping up to 30 centimeters of rain and bringing winds of over 110 kilometers per hour. The forecaster said on Saturday that a tropical storm warning is in effect for extreme southern Florida and stretching as far north as the Fort Myers area. Michael Brennan, National Hurricane Center Director, said the storm expected to hit the peninsula state's west coast this morning.
So to wrap up with sort of the key points here for Tropical Depression 4 this Saturday morning, the biggest threat, most widespread threat, is going to be the heavy rainfall and the potential for considerable flooding, flash and urban flooding across portions of Florida and into the coastal southeastern United States from today all the way through Thursday, and there will be the possibility of river flooding in many locations as well as that heavy rainfall falls and drains into river basins.
Powerful ocean surges are forecast for Bonita Beach northwards to Tampa Bay, according to the National Hurricane Center. Now, those surges could send powerful sea waves further inland than normal, damaging structures and threatening anyone in their path. Now, elsewhere in Florida, workers were seen felling trees around California's Mill Park on Saturday in a bid to limit the spread of a wildfire that has become the 4th largest in state history. Spokesperson for the United States Forest Service in California, Adrian Freeman, said their intent is to get just as close as possible to the active edge of the fire and try to stop it where it is.
Okay, so what we're doing today is taking advantage of the weather. We are actually seeing some precipitation up here in Mineral. Our intent is to get just as close as we possibly can to the active edge of the fire and try to stop it where it is, using these conditions to our advantage to slow down the movement of this fire.
Firefighting in the area was difficult due to the terrain. More than 6,000 firefighters in California's Central Valley continue to battle the largest blaze in the U.S. on Saturday. The blaze was started by an alleged arsonist who pushed a flaming car down a 60-foot gully near Chico, California on the 24th of July. Now, it has since burned more than 162,200 hectares, equivalent to an area larger than the city of Los Angeles. A flash flood from the mountains of southwestern Saudi Arabia swept away part of a bridge in Jizan province, killing one person on Saturday. The state television news channel Al Akhbariyah had images of two vehicles caught up in the floodwaters, one of them crushed by a collapsed bridge support. It said several people were also injured in the bridge collapse at an important crossroads inland from the Red Sea port city of Jizan. The National Centre for Meteorology warned Saturday that more heavy rain was still to come in Jizan province, with thunderstorms forecast in the mountains. Jizan province has starkly different climates. The narrow coastal plain along the Red Sea experiences some of the highest temperatures in Saudi Arabia. But the mountains inland, which rise to 3,000 meters, are much cooler with significant rainfall even in summer. Somali security forces destroyed a suspected vehicle on Saturday after at least 32 civilians were killed and 63 injured in an explosion on a popular beach in the Somali capital, Mogadishu, late on Friday evening. Now, it was the deadliest attack in the Horn of Africa country since twin car bombs detonated near a busy market intersection in October 2022, killing at least 100 people and wounding 300 others. There was no immediate claim of responsibility by the Daesh-linked Al-Shabaab group, which has claimed similar attacks in the past, including the car bomb attack in 2022. Police spokesperson Abdi Fattah Aden gave the death toll in Friday evening's explosion at a beach restaurant. In addition to the civilians killed, Aden said that one of the attackers had blown himself up while 3 others had been killed by security forces. One attacker was captured alive while one soldier was killed during the assault. Al-Shabaab controls large parts of southern and central Somalia. The group has waged a brutal insurgency for nearly 20 years against the United Nations-backed government in Somalia. Napolitan and M. Tina's hopes of a medal did not materialize despite making history as the country's first women's doubles team to advance to the semi-finals of the Olympics. Napoli Tina lost their bronze medal playoff 11-21, 11-21 to Nami Matsuyama Chiharu Shida of Japan, ranked 4th in the world at the Porte de la Chapelle Arena. First Malaysian women's pair.
Itu adalah satu I think achievement yang kita pun happy, but yeah, definitely a bit sad about today's loss. Kita really wanted to win the bronze medal, but at the same time we just want to take yang positif lah dalam game ini. Kita tak tahu apa yang berlaku dalam 4 tahun lah. Sebab saya tahu saya pun senang injured. Saya harap saya dapat jaga badan sampai 2028.
Over in track and field, national sprint king Muhammad Azim Mamafami's Olympic debut at the Olympics ended in the first round after a slight slip in the men's 100 meters dash today. Now, a 20-year-old did not advance to the semi-finals after he came in last with a time of 10.45 seconds in the heat 2 of the first round at the Stade de France. The time was far from his national record of 10.09 seconds set at the Under-20 World Athletics Championships in Cali, Colombia in August 2022. Kenya's Ferdinand Omanyala led the heat with a time of 10.08, followed by Italy's Chituru Ali and Germany's Joshua Hartmann. Now, only the top 3 from each of the 8 heats, along with the next 3 fastest times, advanced to the semi-finals. Now, earlier, Muhammad Azim had advanced to the first round after finishing second in his preliminary round heat in a time of 10.42 seconds.
Satu pengalaman yang tak dapat dilupakan lah. Orang kata to be in the Olympics adalah impian semua atlet. Jadi alhamdulillah saya diberi rezeki dan peluang untuk berada di sini hari ini. Tetapi bukan bukan rezeki saya untuk memamerkan yang terbaik yang saya boleh. Untuk LA 2028, I'm going to make sure that I'm going there by merit. I'm not going by wildcard anymore. I'm not using that anymore. I'm going to prove to everyone that I'm the best sprinter in Malaysia.
In tennis, Zheng Qinwen became the first Chinese player to win an Olympic Games tennis singles gold medal on Saturday when she defeated Croatia's Donna Vekic in the final. The 21-year-old Zheng came through 6-2, 6-3, winning only China's second ever tennis gold after Li Ting and Sun Tiantian's women's doubles triumph at Athens in 2004. 25-match winning run at Roland Garros to reach the gold medal match. Now, match hardened by those tests of character, Zheng held to love in the opening game of the second and broke again for a 2-love lead as the errors piled up for 28. In swimming, the United States broke the world record in winning the Olympic 4x100 meters mixed medley relay gold on Saturday, outgunning China and Australia. Now, their team of Ryan Murphy, Nick Fink, Gretchen Walsh and Tori Husk touched in 3 minutes 37.43 seconds to narrowly better the mark set by Britain at the Tokyo Games when the event was first added to the Olympic program. Off with Murphy up against China's Xu Jiayu, with Australia opting for a woman in 100 meters and 200 meters Olympic champion Kaylee McKeown. Both Fink and Walsh then swam storming legs after American Alex Walsh, who had finished third, was disqualified. In the end, she had already won the 1,500 meters and earned silver in the 4x200 meters freestyle relay, and bronze started pulling clear. Madden made a late charge. Belgian Remco Evenepoel survived a late puncture to win Olympic cycling road race gold on Saturday, a week after taking gold in the time trial to become the first man to complete the double. The 24-year-old Evenepoel rode solo over the final 15-kilometer of the 273-kilometer race around Paris to finish well clear of French pair Valentin Madouas and Christophe Laporte, who took silver and bronze. He may never achieve his potential. Let's look at Rally Finland. Toyota's Kalle Rovanperä was heading for his first home win after ending the penultimate day of Rally Finland on Saturday with a lead of 44.2 seconds over French teammate Sébastien Ogier. The double world champion won 5 of the day's 6 stages to build a comfortable lead, with Hyundai's championship leader Thierry Neuville a further 39.6 seconds behind 8-times champion Ogier. Now, M Sport Ford Puma driver Adrien Fourmont is 4th, 25.9 seconds behind Neuville. Toyota's Elfyn Evans, last year's winner, who had been second overnight, lost almost 6 minutes with a broken drive shaft and dropped down the order. Evans, third in the overall driver standings, suffered a problem with his Toyota's front right drive shaft, which caused him to have to negotiate around 40 kilometers worth of special stages in road mode before being able to get a repair. Estonian Ott Tänak did not take part in the day's driving after he crashed his Hyundai into a tree and retired on Friday. Now, there are 4 more stages to be negotiated on Sunday before the finish. Next in our offbeat segment, colorful costumes adorn cosplay summit in Japan, and dogs surf beach waves in California Championship. It takes intense dedication, hours of prep, and a whole lot of sewing. Dressing up as Japanese characters may not be an Olympic sport, but these competitors are at the top of their game. Now, teams from 36 countries and regions faced off in central Japan on Saturday, having faithfully recreated the elaborate outfits, colorful hairstyles, and all-important attitude of their chosen anime, manga, and video game stars. Now, the championship is part of the World Cosplay Summit in Nagoya, a 3 3-day event that draws thousands of fans, many keen to show off their own costumes.
And each year, each country has their own representative group, and then we fight for the medals. But it's not so much like about competition as it is about the whole experience of being to Japan, going to different parades.
It's dressing up. Like imagine dressing up for Halloween, but it's not Halloween, and it's for just having fun, just fancy dress, but with a lot more skill and a lot more community connections. And
Braving the midsummer heat and humidity, crowds of Japanese and international cosplay enthusiasts throng the city centre for the annual event, which was first held in 2003. The characters from top manga comics such as Naruto and Slam Dunk pose for photos next to others in full-body get-ups, including the fantastical mechanical fighters from Gundam. Now, there are some ground rules. Gore, such as bloody wounds and bruises, is forbidden, as well as costumes that show too much skin or underwear and any real-life uniforms. Perfecting self-taught skills from makeup artistry to prosthetics, dressmaking and prop design is a key part of cosplay. In Nagoya, contestants are judged on the accuracy and quality of their costumes. Then they must perform a 2.5-minute skit in character. Canines and their owners competed on Saturday in the World Dog Surfing Championships in Pacifica, California. The hounds entered in the contest were categorized by sizes, while judges and spectators gathered on the beach to watch them hang 10. Now, some dogs, like a 14-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel named Delilah, were seasoned veterans with more than a decade of experience hitting waves in the annual contest. Some spectators, like San Francisco resident Samantha Berlanga, were first-time attendees intrigued by the competition.
So I actually found out about this event really last minute. Someone in a group chat mentioned that there were going to be dogs surfing, and I was really intrigued. I was like, how many times do you get to see dogs surfing? So I woke up my roommate at 9 a.m. and I was like, do you want to go watch dogs surf? And she was like, hell yeah. So that's what brought us here.
The annual contest raises awareness about dogs in need and money for charities and hosts canine ready for adoption on site. Amazing dogs. Now that wraps up today's edition of World Today. In our top story, at least 15 killed after Israeli strikes hit school building. Join us again tonight at 8:30 p.m. on Saluran Berita RTM and TV1 for more updates. You can also stream us online through RTM's Click app. I'm Jessica Lee, Malaysia Madani, Jiwa Merdeka. Bye for now.